All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Mushoku Tensei, Season 1, Episode 7.
Last episode.
That was like high highs and some scary moments, you know, like I don't want to say low lows because like that's a direction that the show is intending to, you know, like go into and explore.
But we had some really good slice of life stuff. We learned a little bit about the world, a little bit more about how Laplace, the demon god, was taken down.
Yep.
Some definite foreshadowing for some people that our boy Rudy is going to eventually meet.
Oh yeah.
But the Eris side of things has some potential to be a little bit rocky, if you will. Not Roxy, but you know, but rocky.
It reached new levels of uncomfortable, right? And it's one of those things where, like, because, you know, the main character is pedophile, right? Like, and that's what we're dealing with, right? It's like, of course we're going to go into, you know, like some of those avenues, right? He's not just magically changed because he's in this fantasy world where he's had a lot of things be easier, you know, but that's the direction that the show is going. It's exploring
it's his
right?
second chance.
Exactly. And it wouldn't really make sense if suddenly once he gets a second chance, he's just like this perfect person, you know, right? It's not how people work. We don't change instantly.
But all right, okay. So we've got our trio. We've got our trio right now. Elaine, learning a little bit more about reading and math and all that stuff. So all right, the tutorship continues. We're getting little bits of time skips here and there to show an accelerated, you know, physical growth at the very least in Rudy's character. So that's exciting because then this, you know, stint in this apprenticeship here that he's, you know, going through could take, you know, still years and years.
Right, because it is planned to be 5 years, which is a really long time.
Right. But it's probably not going to be cut short, is what I'm saying. Is that
exactly.
There's probably not going to be something that, you know, removes him from the situation.
Some surprise attack on the town or something like that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, no, if anything, the closest thing that we got to that already was the kidnapping. That very much could have been the end for both of them. But, of course, you know, Rudy's a quick-thinking motherfucker. And of course, Ghislaine is
a bit of a badass.
Yeah. A king, if you will.
Yep.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Aha! Whoa!
Just starting off with the fight, okay?
Hell yeah, all the animation!
Whoa!
What?
Okay.
That's some... These swords are reinforced with something.
Yeah.
I mean, wow! Just throwing that animation at us, just right at the beginning,
and I loved that
for sure. Yeah,
Ghislaine used an actual feint, like a fantasy swords person who isn't just like super strong, and that's why they're good. They actually have like a lot of expertise with moves and stuff. Yeah.
All right, math looks like
all of them.
Okay.
Progress.
Good. Progress,
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Nice. You got your cantrips up. That's good. Nope.
Maybe it's just that you're Paul's son.
Yeah. Remind her of him. He really does look like Paul in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Or he really just looked like both of his parents. Like, nice. Edna Reirun. Cool. Okay. She's not ready for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Must be. He's like, bet, yeah.
No way she'll learn that shit.
Throwing in a little Zoomer speech and stuff. Sheesh, you know. Please take her off my hands.
Exactly, yep. Hell yeah, time off!
Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
Oh, cool. Yes, and books and learning and more stuff. In Beast God. As a that's different from Beast Kin, necessarily, though. Okay, no, it is the language of Beast Kin. Okay. Okay. Yeah, yes. We are men of culture.
Exactly. He already has an ally.
He even like leaned into him.
Yeah.
God,
brilliant.
Philip. Oh my God.
Yeah, and just like that.
There you go. Oh, whoa. Okay.
All right. Okay.
You have my sympathy. I think you're more worried about her embarrassing the family.
Right.
Are you trying to manipulate him? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like... Yeah.
Be her dancing partner. Yeah, maybe get her to talk about why she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
That's how you get good.
Yep.
That's probably how your parents felt too.
No, right now, Rudius can't do everything. Nice. He's not making the distinction of which one. He's saying it's all hard.
Right.
That's smart. Yeah. Oh. I thought he was going to make the point of like there was something that I was just the worst at.
Gotcha. That's how she says, "Okay, thanks for the pep talk." Oh. Ow.
You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep, and then her just faces in her hands.
Oh. No. It's like this. Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Selling it.
Oh my god.
That is a gold piece.
Yeah.
That is a gold piece. That is half of Ghislaine's monthly salary. Oh my gosh, she's making tons of them now. I love they're using the statues to show the passage of time. Oh, wow.
Hey!
Wow, yeah. Yep. Yes, the language.
Right. Oh yeah, she would be able to help him with that, probably.
No way!
Awesome!
Oh!
That's so sweet! Wow.
It's circulated all the way! Yeah. Oh, I love the drawings accompanied with it, too. Gross, dude. Come on.
Oh, so it's... Alright, it's already tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Oh, God.
It's more something you want to ask Eris.
The panic.
Yeah.
The panic. Oh, look at him.
Yeah.
Like, what is rice? Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Ha! Yeah, it's that uncomfortable thing though, where she's gonna be paraded in front of
right.
everybody,
because it's basically prepping for the suitors for what would be the 15th birthday.
Yeah, 15,
I'm guessing.
Yeah, because that's when they're adults. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
This might.
So she's gonna dance with like 20 boys, probably.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's going well so far. You know.
Oh, a little bit of eye animation. That was cute. That was cute.
Oh.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Shit. Yep. Go for it, dude.
This is gonna up her confidence a lot.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who is he? Yeah.
No.
Because
they
he's
don't,
not
they
tied
don't
to
know
any
whose
family.
kid he
They don't
is.
know who he is. Yeah. They're like, oh, this is a very basic dance, but oh.
Yeah, because there's now going to be all the nerves of the people watching and the stuff that they've been saying and. Wow. Oh, nice. Yeah,
Oh my
she was so good at
gosh.
sword fighting.
This is good. This is good. This is good.
Awesome.
Oh, that's so
This
cool.
animation.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
She'd totally forgotten.
Wow, and then
This is
mapping into like a
beautiful.
3D environment while making the background characters. That's
Holy shit.
that is so cool.
All right.
But the thing is, can she actually dance with anybody else though?
Right, and if you're the only person who dances with her successfully,
That won't help the.
especially if they find out who you are.
Right. Oh,
Okay, all right.
Ah! Oh, he just announced his name. Oh no! They could be referring to her as well. Right. Yeah, because she's thinking of it like a feint.
Ah, love it.
Oh, with the footwork.
Yeah. She's so proud of herself.
But she said Rudius is amazing.
I know. Yeah, that's
So
huge progress. Yeah, because he just did something super cool socially, right?
Yeah. This is her big day. You know?
Right. But he did just save this event.
Oh my
basically.
god. I don't think he's capable of that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa. Aw. Of course, she's known Ghislaine for longer.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Attacked by a different kind of wolf.
Yeah. Oh.
Is that normal?
Wow!
Yeah. Just after that story with Paul. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, who do you want to be, Rudius?
Yeah, exactly. You really don't want to be like your dad. Your dad, so.
Oh no.
Is this Grandpa? Wait.
Is it with a servant, though? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I knew it. Post-night clarity! I was literally gonna say that!
It's an angel.
It's a spell of some kind, maybe. Make girls rain in the sky. Okay. Okay, interesting episode.
Huh.
Yeah. All right, the slice of life adventures continue.
That's right.
In this fantasy world, and
love it.
Rudy is he's evolving. He's getting new understanding for the way this world works. We have hit that point for Eris where she hits her birthday, and thus she needs to acquire some skills quickly in order to fulfill that kind of like family performance kind of thing.
And family performance, societal performance, and you are now officially in the growing up stage, right? Because if 15 is when you become an adult. Right? Yeah. Then, from 10 to 15 is probably that time where it's like, all right, get ready to go out in society. Yeah.
Right, because I mean, in a lot of ways, the world probably set up for at least the nobility to be like, you hit 15, you're married. Like,
right, exactly.
Immediately.
And so in that first 5 years, it's basically the suitors for that. The suitors will come along and we'll prep you for that. And
they might do long arranged engagements that last 2 years.
Right, because it's all political at this sphere of society. So, naturally they want to have time to figure things out, for people to basically make their offers and such.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And it was it felt like a really great way for Rudy to be able to help her in a situation where she is going to be nervous, all that stuff, without it being as like direct and overt as like a kidnapping, say, right?
Right, exactly.
It's a bit more mellow from the traditional like look at things, right? But at the same time, for Eris, this is everything. Big. This is huge, right? And she really isn't prepared for this.
And especially for the Grey Rat family. The idea that Rudy has stepped in here, we mentioned this, but it might not be good in the long term because it might potentially be a sign that less suitors will be coming her way.
Sure, because if they don't know that, like, say he is her tutor or something, or if they know and it's like because of the society they're in that just doesn't really matter, then it could be something where it's like, oh, we thought that you had the like main claim to her hand in marriage, as an alliance or whatever, right?
We just moved her back.
Exactly. We just figured, oh, okay, whatever, because that was a pretty awesome move that Rudy did of being like, hey, no one here. Like, no one in the whole room is able to take charge of this situation, right? Even the adults are just like, well, shit, I guess this is, what it is. And then he steps in and boom,
Yeah, and he uses the things that he learned from seeing her sword play, realizing that she's almost at the advanced level for sword play at 10.
Yeah, and that's a big deal.
And well, even at 9, really, because we had the time skip to get to her birthday, which is cool. I love the way this show is quickly moving through time by using things like a birthday as a milestone point, but then also little details in the background, like how many figures he had in his room.
Sure.
The fact that the number grew over the period of time as he was learning a language.
Yep, because of course a language isn't something that you do with just a couple of hours free.
Right, exactly.
That takes a long time, and it makes sense that when they're trying to prepare Eris for the etiquette and dancing and all the stuff that she needs to know for her 10th birthday, that's not the kind of thing you start 2 weeks before, right? That takes a long time, especially for someone like Eris who would have completely shirked all of that up until now, right? Until it's now a thing that's like, no, this is a forced thing. You have to do this because your birthday's coming up. Cool.
Yeah. And with her kind of being put into this position where she has to be kind of forced essentially to kind of parade and do her little song and dance, if you will. It's fun to have Rudy, who then is the character that gets to have all these opportunities to learn new things, teach someone who feels restricted in this life. Almost like she would love to be reincarnated into another world where she could be free and have a second chance at life.
Yep.
But because Rudy is forced to teach her, he has to understand these things on a better level than even she does, which is going to cyclically in some ways, because he has to kind of mess up a couple times before you usually get something. He has to understand those things as well, which means that going after something that you're not good at is a noble effort pun intended, not necessarily with regards to nobility.
Oh, sure.
But actually important that you do, because it will help you down the line.
Right.
And he thought about it. He was like, yeah, this is something that I remember actually like believing or going through the same thing.
I learned the hard way when I would suddenly be like, oh shit, maybe I should have taken that stuff more seriously or whatever, right?
Yeah, he's like, I did think that. Like, she would think that as well eventually.
Right, and so and that's the eternal struggle of any teacher, right? Because you can't make anyone do anything.
Correct.
Right? You know, because if you could, one, it wouldn't be teaching, but two, you can't, so don't try, right?
Right.
But now he's realizing maybe, oh, this is all those other people that would have maybe hounded me to do certain things and whatnot to try and, you know, it probably came from a place of wanting to get me to grow.
It
you know?
could have, yeah.
And because of all the shit that he was going through back then, of the crazy bullying and all of that stuff, right? He either wasn't able to in that moment in time, chose not to, right? No one reached him, right? Yeah. And so that is a great motivation for him here
to reach someone
to
else.
Want to reach her, not just because you can't buy dare and all of that stuff, right? To use that as a shorthand, right?
Right, right. I mean, he is playing her route right now in his own way. Yeah,
definitely, right? But it's more than that, right? And that's something that I really appreciate, because then we can see that it's something where, because he isn't even necessarily wanting to be growing right now. He's just doing what he's doing, but along the way, he is changing.
Yeah, and he is changing.
Like this is
the fact that he didn't grope or tease her or anything directly after the episode where he did is kind of astonishing.
That is one of those things that I love how that was set up, because it adds, like, in retrospect, so much more importance to that scene happening in the previous episode.
Right.
Because it's the no. And there was it's not like it was some actual charm or anything, right?
Nope.
It was just that plus a story of, oh, well, you know, your dad, Paul, you know, this is what he did. And he's like, shit, right?
And in some ways, the fact that Ghislaine gave this to Eris might have even been a thing of where it's like, oh, no. I still feel bad about the fact that I was being your protector. You got kidnapped.
Sure. Yeah.
Like something that was supposed to be some kind of, you know, scheme or what have you to get her to, you know, trust, Rudy or what have you, ended up being a thing where she actually did get kidnapped.
Right.
And then she's like, shit, I messed up.
That shouldn't have happened
on my watch.
Yeah, so even though she was able to rescue her just fine, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to give her this thing that is a wonderful little token. Yep. No, it's just superstition. But if it makes you feel a little bit more protected and guarded, that's wonderful. I don't think Ghislaine is necessarily doing this as this will protect you from the next time Rudy does anything.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
That. I don't think that Eris has, told on him about that.
And given what we saw with the grandpa at the end of the episode, I would say we can and what we've known of Paul, I'd say we can pretty safely...
Philip now, too.
Yeah.
In fact, and that's something that might be even set up in a lot of ways. Pretty much every single adult character thus far, except maybe, Zenith, I would say. Zenith is good mom, basically.
Every adult male that we've seen.
Every adult male that we've seen, yes, has been somewhat predatory, at least in their power stances.
Right.
But Philip's thing wasn't
not overtly. Yeah.
The thing is that Philip's wasn't that he was predatory. It was that he was basically the idea of oh no, if you bed any of them, don't get them pregnant. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Either people's bodies work in different ways, or he's just saying this as a joke.
Right, because Rudy's still 8. Yeah.
Right. His body isn't capable of doing that.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Unless it's like, no. The years here are actually longer than 365 days, so when they say 8 or 15 or whatever, it's actually like their 450-day years or something like that.
Sure, so he's actually 13 or whatever.
Right, because that is one of those things that you can do in stories.
In fantasy worlds, that is something that actually...
They're the way they keep track of time can be different, so, when year might mean something else.
Yeah, and we haven't actually brought that up, but this is also, I would say, a world where that actually could get brought up. So, so who's to know? But the idea that Philip's so blasé about it of oh yeah, I don't care what you do, but you better not bring a child into this world.
Because that's probably what his grandpa said, right? Yep. And it's one of those things that is, it's great because you can see the genesis of exactly how this kind of behavior came about and ended up getting propagated, right? You know, with someone like Paul, for instance, they're nobles for one, so like it's something where they aren't used to hearing the word no, you know, not just from like the people that say like work for them, like there's that whole master servant dynamic, right? Where that gets all sorts of complicated, but even just from their own peers and even mentors, right? Where it's the now do whatever, you're better than everyone else, so you know, you just do whatever you want.
As expected of a gray rat, you know.
Yeah, exactly, right.
We're so special.
Right.
And Paul also being one where, in some ways, he was probably one of the better gray rats, potentially, in that he actually settled down and married.
Right, trying to get away from that.
Family. He might have been trying to get away from it.
Like it very much seems to me like it not that Paul is a great guy or anything, but that it changes maybe the perspective on it from being something where, oh yeah, Paul's just a shitbag, to Paul is a person that
accidentally fell into the old
but
habits.
Not quite, right? You know, like
he fell into the old teaching habits, basically, of his father,
even though he was actively trying to go contrary to it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the kind of thing of where this story is bringing up characters that are nuanced and complicated on the backdrop of a main character who is an older guy in the body of a child, showing predatory advances towards his peers in the fantasy world. So it's like that's okay. Let's keep this going.
Well, and that's one of the things that I think is so wonderful about how this episode went, is that in the same way that we see that Paul wasn't able to escape from the teachings of his family, right? Here, Rudy, granted, Paul isn't like his actual like family, right? You know, he was fully mentally developed long before then. But he is able to escape that here, where the very thing that Paul did, right, he then doesn't do. You know, so I really like how that went.
And to be fair, the Paul story with Elaine, that might have been absolutely consensual as well, because it's just a
totally. I mean, it's not like, let's be real. Paul couldn't force himself on Ghislaine if he wanted to. Like, that's probably why it was so important that, you know, she mentioned, no, he was never able to beat me once, or he mentioned it or whatever. But we know that Paul has done that in the past with other people. Right. But yeah, probably not the case with Ghislaine.
No, definitely not. But okay, he now knows Soros' secret, though. And that Soros is making the servants be his.
It's not just because he likes their aesthetic. No.
There is a very clear power dynamic here, and they cannot say no. And now Rudy knows about this. And this might be the kind of thing that maybe Lord Soros is, you know, generally not going to get any consequences for.
Of course not.
But it could be the kind of thing where we start to inform a little bit about what the dynamic is of the relationship in the family, and where, you know, this leads things.
I am very curious.
I think there's that spell thing in the sky. It very much looks like an effect from a spell, right? Like it definitely doesn't look like a planet that's just really far away and we're seeing it tiny.
Or maybe
really
some
big.
kind of other flying fortress type thing, but they didn't seem to recognize that. So that's... I generally love that. I love its introduction because it feels mysterious and everything. It could be something that disrupts their current way of life.
Orb of some kind.
Yeah, I don't know, right? But at the same time, like, this could be where the home life gets disrupted. Things take a more like high octane action kind of, you know.
I doubt it.
Bend if like something attacks. I don't think that would be the case. And
I
even
really
if it did,
like totally we're setting up for that.
I don't think we're totally setting up for that either. But even if it did, there are enough powerful people in this area that it wouldn't even necessarily in this world, but also in this area, that it wouldn't even necessarily affect Rudius in any way.
No, not
right?
necessarily.
It's just, oh, by the way, that's happening. Yeah, Ghislaine goes away for a couple weeks.
Okay,
you know.
But to be fair, this is something that I still want to bring up. I actually don't think there's necessarily that many powerful people magic-wise in this area.
Oh yeah.
Reason why is they summoned Rudius to be the tutor.
Her.
Now that means one, Rudy is really impressive.
Yeah.
But two, I would say the main reason why they hired him was because he's a kid, so he might be able to connect more with Eris. But they still chose Rudy.
Right.
Which means, like, they also really liked his, like, resume of magic, potential and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like like, because we don't know how rare Ghislaine is. I feel like Ghislaine is the real question.
No,
right?
well, no, we know she's a sword king.
No, right. But like the fact that this family was able to get a sword king on their like permanent payroll, right? How much is that something that like other noble families might be able to do, right? Or is it like no, we pay good money and we're like one of the few people who's actually been able to like acquire Ghislaine, and even that is because she's like an old family friend or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like because I could totally see that being the case, and that's just something where we'll have to see what direction the story decides to take it if they go in that direction. But again, they don't have to because you know they've got a good thing going so far.
They do, and having the world's kind of learnings and stuff be focused through Rudy kind of gaining these little things like his little desire to learn language so that he can have this special connection with characters like Roxy, for instance, which is a really cool thing.
That was awesome that she wrote the lesson book for him.
Yeah, but that being the case, that can be the way that we slowly build up the world here as we're in a time of peace. I don't think this is a lead into any kind of chaotic conflict.
Okay.
It's potentially more the idea that, hey, there's powerful people in this world, Rudy. You are way down in the pecking order side of things here. So there's going to be powerful individuals and things that they do in your environment that will just happen.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to learn to roll with it.
Yep.
And one of them we just saw was Soros taking advantage of his servant here.
Well, right, but also...
Which means that, he's kind of letting him know, like, hey, you see something that, doesn't affect you, but it's a bit strange. You just let it go and move on.
Sure. Well,
see the subtle little...
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I didn't think of that parallel with the object, because the thing that I really liked about that scene is how Soros doesn't pay any mind to it, right? Here's something that could theoretically, in any other story, it could be some cataclysmic harbinger of destruction, right? And it's just, it's just another day. Someone else will take care of it. Like, even if it is something dangerous, don't worry about it. We don't need that stress. Life goes on, right? And that's something that totally makes sense in a world of heroes and monsters, right? Where it's just like, no, someone else can take care of that, and the way to stay sane as a noble person is not to think about how your life could be upended any minute by some
weird
eldritch entity.
Magician.
Right. It's just to be like, nah, it'll get taken care of. It'll keep going. Try not to stress too much about it. And cool.
Yeah. And there we go. That's the episode. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.